What's going on, everybody? I'm a little late with this video. Should have posted it probably earlier this afternoon, but because of the joint practice, I decided to go ahead and push this back because I know the joint practice is way more important, and I was kind of hoping that letting one more game play out would kind of make us feel a little bit better after what happened yesterday, but that didn't happen. Um, right now, the vibes. And this is hard for me to say because we are coming off a series where we beat the ever-loving hell out of the Mets, and the Mets were hot going into that series, but the vibes just went right back to collapsing on the floor. Mariners are now 5 games above 500. They are 2.5 back of the Astros. They have lost 12.5 games to the Astros over the last few months here. It is an embarrassing collapse. By the way, the Astros themselves haven't even played that well. So, like, it's if they were actually playing consistently elite baseball over the last couple months during this slide, it'd be over. The only reason why this isn't over is because the Astros are inconsistent too. But honestly, they're 2.5 games up. I think they're going to be getting some players back, and they're clearly playing better baseball than the Mariners are. So I'm starting to really feel like I know the way this is going to go. So this video is going to be quick. This team, after what I saw the last 2 days, barely feels like they're worth my time. I am going to continue to see what's up with them throughout the rest of this season. We've got 41 games left, and we're 2.5 games back, so I'm not going to just hit the eject button on the season or anything like that, because they did do a little bit during the trade deadline. They did enough to keep things interesting. Rosarena's been really good. Turner's been good. Garcia, I don't know what the hell happened tonight, but he's a good pitcher. Like, they did do some stuff to make the team better at the deadline, and everything is still in play, but um it's tough right now. It's frustrating. You see what happened against the Mets, and you're like, okay, we're building up momentum. We've got something going here. The season's turning around, and then they don't bother showing up 2 days later against the Detroit Tigers. And it's not even losing that game because you're going up against Screwball. I get it, but you you give up 15 runs to a Tigers team that isn't even good. Like they're maybe their average. And then the next day you blow a game, you've got a 2-0 lead in during the 8th inning. Like it's hard to really take them seriously right now. And yeah, this video is going to be shorter than most of my Mariners videos. I don't even really feel like trying to structure a Mariners video right now. I just want to speak generally and kind of get through the bare minimum required because I'm deflated right now, right? You think they're turning the corner, and then no, they're just continuing their quest to win 54% of their games and almost purposefully not do better than that. Brian Wu pitches the game of his life today, and it gets blown because Yimi Garcia decides to throw a beach ball with 2 strikes in the 8th inning. Like, what do you say about that? And then, Scott Service, who you guys know I've generally defended, generally liked. I think that he's done good stuff here. I think he's a good manager, but so many bad decisions lately, and these bad decisions are costing us games now. He would make bad decisions occasionally before, but it never felt like it cost us games. Now it's costing us games constantly. Not much rhyme or reason to the way he does things anymore. It's just, I don't know. I mean, I know this video is going to be kind of different than my usual Mariners video. Usually I have some kind of structure to it, but right now I'm deflated. I'm deflated. That Mets series was supposed to be a turning point, and then you come out and you find two really stupid ways to lose games to the Detroit Tigers. One game you get completely embarrassed like you're a double A team getting forced into action against a pro team. And then tonight, whatever that was, like, meanwhile, Ty France is over in Cincinnati hitting home runs all of a sudden, and it's like, what are we doing here in Seattle? And how can it be allowed to continue to happen? If the coaching staff on this team, whatever the coaches are doing on this team is so bad that they can't get anything out of Ty France, and he leaves to Cincinnati and immediately starts turning it around. And you're seeing the downfall of so many other hitters on this team, be it Julio, be it J.P. Crawford, be it we haven't seen him from like a Rosarina yet, but give it time. And it's like, what are we doing? And more importantly, how is that person, the people responsible for it, how are they still here? How are they not being thrown off the top of the Space Needle? Because they're clearly here as like they're spies for other organizations. That's the only way this makes sense. That's the only way they could be this bad at their job. And that's whatever, but how do you let them keep their job? So I'm frustrated. I'm annoyed. Not just because of the way this season is going, but because I think I know how it's going to be spun in this upcoming offseason, assuming we don't end up winning this division. I think it's going to be spun like it's because of injuries, because Wu got hurt, because Julio got hurt, because JP got hurt. There were a couple other injuries as well. There were bullpen problems. I feel like it's going to get spun, and nobody is going to get fired over this when this should be treated as a historically embarrassing, historically bad collapse, because that's what it is. And I want to be more optimistic here. We are 2.5 games out, which is not a big margin to make up with 41 games left. Like, I don't want to sit here and act like everything's just bad. I mean, it's just a few days ago we were putting up 12 runs on the Mets, and we almost went 27 straight innings without allowing a single run. Like, we should be a little more hype right now, but how can we be hyped about things when they then turn around and score 3 runs through 2 games against the Detroit Tigers? When, I mean, you need it more than they do. That Tigers team they're not playing for much. They're sub 500. They're not going to make the playoffs this year. They know it. And for this to be the result, it's just, I don't even really feel like putting the effort. And I'll straight up, I don't put a ton into these Mariners videos. I just turn on the camera and talk extemporaneously about the team. But I usually try to put a little bit of structure in these videos. I don't even feel like doing that right now because I'm annoyed. Because straight up, you guys, it's not that I think Scott Service and Jerry Dipoto or Justin, whoever you want to put on for the way this team was put together, Scott Hunter or Justin Toole or Hollander. It's not like I think any of those guys are really bad at their job, but the failure of this team warrants them getting pushed out. And if they don't get pushed out at the end of this season, if it does indeed end in failure the way it looks like it's going to, then that's, that makes it all the worse. And again, I can see it happening. They're going to say, look, if these guys didn't get hurt, everything would have been cool. And maybe that's true, but it doesn't change the fact that things should have been fine even with the injuries. So, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want the rest of the way. I want to win. I want to win this division. I want to do something in the playoffs. I want to make this season successful. But there is a part of me that is just kind of done with this regime. Don't get it twisted. It's complex right now what I'm feeling. I want to win. I want this team to get on a hot streak, make the playoffs, and do something, but I don't know. I'm kind of getting fed up. I look at a game like tonight, and I'm like, what is Scott doing with this team? Or, well, yesterday more than anything. Like, how is that the effort you come out with after a day off? All right. See you guys later.